Oh, you guys, are you ready for another sneak peek this evening? I've got some Heartfelt Harvest sneaky peeks going on under the cards here, but I want to say hello, everyone. Let's see here. Tanya, hello, and Jen and Lois, Linda, hello. Missy, Erica, Cheryl, hello, everyone. Brenda, let's see, everyone. Welcome, and welcome to everyone that will watch the replay later on. You are watching a little sneak peek into our Heartfelt Harvest release. I want to say hello. Hey, Carol. Thank you. And it's got a little bee on it. See my little bee? We're honeybeed out today and the little sunflower, but I was feeling fallish. Let's see. Nora Lee, hello. Chris, Mimi Cakes, hello. When I Ink of You, hello, everyone. Mindy, hello, Mindy. Cynthia, Marcia, Nan. All right, you guys. So it is that time. We have a big release coming up at the end of this week. And so I will do sneak peeks, of course, tonight and Wednesday, and then you're going to see a lot of me this week because I will be back on Friday for our release party. Make sure you join us on Friday. It's at the same time, same place, 7 p.m. Central, right here on our YouTube channel, where I will show the entire release, show all of my sneak peek cards and my sample cards that I've made, and then we're going to be having giveaways as well. So you're not going to want to miss that. It's always a fun time, and you never know. You could win one of the giveaways and win a little gift card and snag you some of the new release. All right, so let's go back down here so I can tease you some more. Now, underneath my cards here, I'm going to be revealing something I think you guys are really going to like. But I thought I would just kind of peel these back one at a time, like the layers of an onion, and we'll look at the sneaky peeky that I'm going to be working on tonight. Okay, so we have a new stencil set that is beautiful, can be used all year round, and it is called Autumn Delight. But as you see, and we talked about last week, you can simply color these in springy colors or summer colors or even Christmas, I think, and kind of do like that Nordic look and have a really beautiful Christmas card. And of course, we have our kind people sentiment that is the star of the card here. So let's peel back this little layer of the onion, and then you're going to see, I don't know what that could be there. So I'm going to set that card aside. And then we have a brand new 3D embossing folder. This is Fall Leaves, and we did kind of a fun technique. Now, this would be what we call like the negative side or the back side of that embossed background. But you can see even the back side, which would normally be glued down to our card base, is so beautiful as well, with all those beautiful veins in the leaves and the little, I don't know, they look like you could almost crunch them up in your front yard. They're so pretty. And so there is the 3D embossing folder called Fall Leaves. And if I peel back this layer of the onion, what are we seeing under here? Could it be some new lovely layers? All right, and then we have our cute little farm cart or goat cart, whatever you want to call it. And in that farm cart die set, of course, there is this super cute little layering farm cart. There's also the layering bale of hay. And then we have our Fall Bounty die set that has the cute little nubby little funny gourds that have all the little, what are the warts, I almost want to call them, the little warts on the gourds, the pumpkins, the little stems. And then we have a beautiful new layering frame set. And this banner that is so cute has all the embossed detail on it. That is in the layering frame set, and it is called Fancy Fall Layering Frames. It's almost a tongue twister for me. Okay, so let's do another little reveal here, and we've got some more petals. These are leaves, and let me show you the stem that goes in this lovely layers. So this is going to be, once we get it all put together tonight, I'm going to walk you through it. This is our lovely layers Dianthus. And so this is going to be a fun one that's going to mix in with other florals. You can put into some containers. I can totally see, you know, snipping some of these little things apart and slipping them down into different things. So lots of fun with that. I've got some pattern paper pulled out here that I'm going to use. Okay. Now you can see I have tested colors, and I know that a Dianthus is not normally orange, but I'm going for a fall look tonight. So bear with me. Is normally I think they're like purple and hot pink and colors like that. But I am going to ink blend these, and you can see where I have kind of marked for my own eyeballs. My eyeballs are getting really bad. The embossed lines. And so I am going to start here, and these, you can tell where I have cut all those petals with one pass through the die machine. So it makes it easy for little petals like this and like this little guy, where you're not having to deal with just a little bitty tiny die. All the dies are connected together. So this is a flower, this is a flower, and this is a flower or a bloom, or however you want to say that. So it makes it easier for us to ink blend it. It makes it easier for us to cut it. It makes it easier for us to put it together and know what goes with what. And so I am using Crackling Campfire, and it's like my favorite orange for fall. So I have put my little die cuts back down into the negative space, and I'm not going to really do anything fancy here. You can see where I've ink blended these and added some little lines here and there. I'm going to go back in on these here in a minute and add some Copic marker just to make those little lines like really stand out. And those are the embossed lines, what you're seeing. Those are the embossed lines that are there when we die cut. You can see them in the leaves as well. Okay, so I've got my little base of orange down, still in the negative space of the paper. I'm going to take just an orange Copic marker, and this is where I can kind of go through here on those embossed lines and add, you know, I like to trace out just where it's embossed a little bit, add a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy, but doing it while they're kind of flat here on the paper is going to allow me to see it better, for one thing. As I mentioned before, I've got to go get my eyes checked. They're getting, as I age, they're getting so bad. Like on the little up close little things, and going like from my computer screen to down on my desk and things like that. So, you know, aging, what do you say, right? Okay, now this right here, I am going to do these. I think I'm going to put these together first, and I'll tell you why. It's because I want to use my dirty brush on these leaves. And so I'm going to start out by putting the little petals together now, or the blooms. Now there is a layering guide for these. Let me see if I can go into this just a hair like this. And it may still be a little bit hard for you guys to see. But there's a layering guide, so it's going to make it easier for us to try to put everything together. And I like to add on any of my lovely layers, I like to add just a little dot of adhesive like right in the center, because I like to kind of flip up the edges of the little petals. And so I'm going to put that down, and then I'm going to take my next layer, if I can kind of poke it out of here, And then this is going to be the fun part of figuring out, like doing the little puzzle piece on which way, there we go, which way we go. Now, as with all of our lovely layers, and like I mentioned, a puzzle piece, if you set your little petals down correctly, everything should line up just like you're slipping it into a puzzle, right? Okay, so I'm going to take my next little piece and I can add just a little dot of adhesive in the center. And it just takes a little bit. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Hey, Dawn. Okay, somebody's talking about damage. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to take this one and then I can fiddle, figure out where it goes and line it up in its little puzzle piece spot. And then there we go. And just like I mentioned, as with all of our lovely layers die sets, that layering guide is going to be your friend, right? So we can kind of see where all these little pieces are going to go. Okay, so this little guy, I can tell that it's probably going to go, where are we going to go here? Right in there. So I can look to see where to hide my adhesive, and then we can set it down right about there. And then any little extra, I can use the really tippy top sharp point of my tweezers and kind of pull that out. And then we've got one more little piece here. And I'm going to flip this little guy around so I can see what we're doing here. And pick up this one that almost looks like a little teardrop, just like that. And it is going to go right down here. And I don't want to get too much on there. And then we'll put this little guy down. And then I'm going to hold it and let that liquid adhesive do its thing there. And then we've got our little blossom. And when this dries and sets up a little better, that's where I can kind of go in like this. And I pinch where I've glued. And then I start to lift. And because I ink blended the whole thing and didn't do just partial ink blending on parts of the die cuts, I'm able to lift up little petals, and the underneath, or what's underneath those layers, is still going to be the same color as what's on top. Okay, so we've got these really kind of delicate, cute little flowers. All right, so let's put together this little guy. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can get my mat to pull down here. There we go. Okay, now we've got this other one. And I don't know if this is going to be the small, the medium, or the large. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down, and then we can start to adhere. So again, about right in the center. I can pull that out, and then I'm going to put the next largest die cut size. And we're going to line this up just, let's see here, right, just like that, just like the puzzle pieces. And you can see where those petals right around the edges are going to fit together. Okay, and for those of you that are just coming in, this is our new to almost released. It'll be released on Friday. This is the new Lovely Layers Dianthus. And so, of course, there will be a layering guide that goes with everything. Okay, I'm going to add just a little tiny dab of adhesive there. And then I'm going to take my next little die cut, and I can kind of flip it around like so. And then we can puzzle piece this one. So about right in there. Okay. And then I can take my next largest piece and let's see here. I'm looking at my layering guide on my computer as we craft together. That one. So yes, even I look for my layering guide. Let's see here. And then this one is going to go, I may have to do surgery. Let's look. That one matched up. All right, let's see here. Here we go. This one, and it goes, yeah, it goes right there. I'm losing it. Okay, and then the next little one, whoops, is gonna go, let me get it flipped around in my tweezers here. Right down in here. And then the little tiny piece. Is going to go down at the very bottom. Let me turn it the right way. And I'm even going to add some more little Copic flicks in here. So we have a little matching petal. Just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this little guy aside and I'll pull his little petals back here in just a second. But let's do the leaves. Let's see here. Hello, Keiko. Just looked up. A carnation is considered a dianthus. It is. I think dianthus may sound more fun than a carnation. I don't know. What do you guys think? And carnations and dianthus, I guess, can be used all year round. Okay, this is the main stem. And you can see I have marked my little leaves that I'm going to attach over here in just a second. But I'm going to color this in first. So I have my rustic wilderness that I'm going to give, and we may have to ink her up. We'll see. I'm going to give this an all over rub down, this whole stem with rustic wilderness. But I guess you see carnations in all different kinds of colors. And I looked up today because I couldn't decide. Do I want to make this a fall card? I guess you could have like hot pink on a fall card. Like if you wanted to do hot pink flowers or purple flowers. But most of the dianthus that I saw on pictures, they were all like pinks and purples. And I kind of wanted to use some of the new pattern paper. And so that's why I am making mine like the orangey color. So, but I mean, we can even have blue flowers if we want to. And I think Dawn is over in the chat over there. And Dawn has that amazing like spooky rose that she did. Okay, so instead of inking, and I could probably make this a little darker. Let's see if we can find it. Of course, it's going to be the last one that I grab. Nope, that's pine needles. I definitely do not want to do that. Here we go. Right out in front of me. But Dawn had that really cool rose video that she made almost like a, well, it wasn't almost, like a Halloween card out of our Lovely Layers rose. And she did all really cool ink blending on it to make it look a little more eerie and spooky. And I just love the way that you can transform things with ink and different colors of ink. Okay, so instead of dipping back into the rustic wilderness, This is where I'm going to take my blending brush and go right over the top of these because I want them to be a little bit lighter than this. So we have a little bit of color variation, a little dimension, make it fun. So I'm just going to give these little leaves a good old rub down here. And you can tell I'm not doing any like fancy, like trying to flick on color or blend it. You know, normally when I do a leaf or something like that, I try to blend from one direction to the other. I'm not going to do that this time, but I am. So we match our petals of our flowers. Do you see the embossing lines in here now that I've ink blended it? This is where, you know, you can take your colored pencils or, excuse me, or a Copic marker or whatever you want to do. And I don't even think I'm going to go like all the way up. Maybe we do. Let me try not to make a mess. I'm just going to go partial. And I'm trying not to make this bleed too much into the paper. So some of these smaller ones, I'm just going to barely touch. And I'm going to rotate my paper, barely touch my pen to it, and I can kind of drag if I want to a little bit. And do a little bit of flicking here where it meets. And then we've got just a little bitty bit of shading, a little bit here. And I'm going to try to like straighten that one out a little bit. A little bit of shading. We're not going to go real fancy. Okay. And then now I'm going to take my blending brush again, and we're going to do almost kind of blend it in a little bit. Okay, now, there we go. Now I can glue these puppies on. All right, so let's see here. I've got my glue. And let's see how much of a mess that I've made here. All right, so the large one. Just like that. And normally I would use my colored pencils to do the little flicking, but I think we're going to be okay. Now I'm going to puzzle piece my little leaves on. So I may have to, let's see, here we go. That was easy. Just like that. And you can see right here where our big old flowers are going to go in there. They're not big old, but they're pretty good size. Okay, let's puzzle piece. And let's see here. I want this one to go right down here. When you start building this, you can kind of tell where everything should kind of go together. Let's see here. Let's see what we're talking about. Mindy's was cool today too. Krista, oh, Mindy did something cool today. I'm going to have to go look it up. There we go. Keep working my way around my little stem. Just like that. And then we got the long skinny one. I'm going to use my tweezers to kind of move it into its spot there. Okay, and we've got one more. And this little guy is going to go, does it go right here? Yep. Okay, now let's find our little blossoms. Okay, so we've got our big blossom. We've got our little blossom. And we've got our medium-sized blossom. Okay, so do you see where we're kind of heading with this? And so even down in here where my Copic marker kind of got a little bit wonky, we're going to kind of hide it a little bit. Thank goodness, right? Okay, so I'm going to do my little petal job on this one and see if I can't add a little dimension here to this little Dianthus / carnation, like that. And then you could use, some little foam dots if you wanted to pop up. I think me doing the little petals and raising them just a little bit is going to be dimension enough on my card. I like this one that's a little more coral looking. And then the smaller, more compact little blossoms are a little darker. I think that turned out kind of fun. Here we go. But if you had, some of the Dianthus that I saw were like a lighter pink, but then they had really super dark little insides and veins and stuff through the petals, where you could add that in there and really make that stand out. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to carefully pick this up off of this little grip mat so I don't make a big old mess. And let me go a little bit wider here. Okay, and then this is what we're left with. Not too shabby, I don't think. All right, let me remove this. All right, now we got to have a card base for this guy. All right, so I've got a chocolate brown card base. I have some of our beautiful new pattern paper from the Homestead Harvest paper pad. If I flip it over, you're going to get a little sneak peek at what's on the back side, and we've got some pretty fall leaves. So I'm going to do that layer. And then I have some kind of tannish brown polka dots. You can see I've cut it with our new fancy fall layering frames. And this is from the Polka Dot and Pinstripes Harvest paper pad. And so you can see how cute those polka dots are going to be on my plaid. And then I'm thinking that we need to do something like this. Now, what do you guys think with that, with the orangey Dianthus and the orange and the plaid? Isn't that kind of sweet like that? I kind of like it. All right, so let's get to gluing here. I'll quit yakking and I'll start gluing. We can go around here with the liquid adhesive. But I think this is another fun, lovely layers that we're going to be able to use all year round, because, you could color it red if you wanted to do a simple holiday card, or, hot pink for spring, or yellow, or, whatever you wanted. All right, I think this guy, let's see here. Do I want to pop it up? Let me think about this for a second. I'm going to think on popping it up, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment while I think about that. Okay, so I've got some craft cardstock in my Misty here. Let me go just a tad wider here on a view. And I'm using Heartfelt Hello. And Heartfelt Hello is part of the Heartfelt Hello sentiment set. We're all about heartfelt for this release. Can you tell? We've got Heartfelt Harvest. and Heartfelt Hello. And I am stamping this in Walnut Stain Oxide ink because we're going to tie the ink color back to our card base, which is that chocolate brown. And so that's going to look pretty on that craft, I think, and kind of pull in the fall feel. All right, so I'm going to pull this back. Here we go. And then I am going to kind of lightly dry this. If I can find my heat tool here with my heat tool. Let's see here. Get the back side. All right, and then I think I can, let's clean up part of my little messes here. Just like that. And like this. And then I have got the coordinating die. So let me go just a hair here. And I'm going to line it up. And then I like to hold my dies down with like a washi tape or a highlighter tape or something that's low tack. And I'm going to get my head almost right in the way probably. So I can make sure I get this lined up. Let me see here. Got the bottom lined up. I'm checking all the little letters here. And then pop that down. And then I want to actually give this a little haircut so it's easier to run through my little bitty buzz cutter. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's see, Holt, would you put a piece of cardboard in it with it? Oh, maybe you're talking about shipping. All right, there we go. We're gonna run this through there. All my little pieces of my Dianthus, by the way, because they're all in the little, I boo-booed. You know what? I'm going to cut that again. Look. They're all in the, those little groupings is, I cut them out with my bitty buzz cutter. All right, stand by. We're going to stamp that again because I'm not pleased with that. One, two, let's see, what kind of grip mat do you use? It's a waffle flower grip mat. And as far as I know, I haven't checked again, but as far as I know, they have been sold out since they released them a little while back. But I know when they come back in, Honeybee is going to have some in the store. Everybody is waiting to get them back in from, they're sold out at through Waffle Flower. So everybody's waiting. All right, now let's see if I can do this without making a total mess. And I'm going to use this little trick this time so I don't boo-boo it. Do you guys ever do this with your sentiments? And I think it's all the little loop-de-loos in the legs of the H and the, let me fit it down in here. If I can get it to puzzle piece back in. Maybe not. All right, stand by again. Okay, so that one is good. That one is good. That one is good. Up. There we go. All right, now. Homina, homina, homina. What size grip mats do you use the most? Too many choices. Oh, I hear you. Okay, so that's a loaded question. When they came out, much better. When they came out, I ordered them all because I thought I wanted to try them to see like what the hubbub was about, right? And so I got them all. I am using the smaller ones the most. So I have one that I leave in my Misty all the time, and then I use this one a lot for my looks like it's about 6 by 8.5 for a lot of the die cuts. And then the one that's the regular Misty size, I keep in there all the time because it holds all the little die cuts. You probably saw where it was holding my paper down in my Misty. I just keep it in there all the time because I'm a big like sticky mat loving girl, where I was using the little inexpensive little Cricut mats and cutting them up. And that kind of eliminates that whole need to use the inexpensive Cricut mats and cut them, because now I can just slip that little grip mat in there. And then when it gets dirty or inky, I can just clean it off. Okay, so I'm going to kind of have that going that way and that like so. Okay, and then I'm going to add this little guy. Let's see here if I have any. There they are. I like these little narrow foam strips for my sentiments. And I think I might pop it like kind of right down here to give it just a hair of dimension. Let's see here. Let's get the scissors. Thank you, Missy. Those are too big. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, we'll see what this is going to look like when we get it all finished. So I don't know. Let's see. Is Lisa here? I wonder if Lisa's on tonight. Let's see. There's Bo. I see a lot of our Kelley. Do you have? I have to have it all syndrome. Bo, yes, I have. I have to have it all syndrome. Especially if it's things that I think will be handy for live streams and videos and stuff and such like that. Oh, that's going to be adorable. Look at that. Kind of offset just a hair. Okay. Twine bow on the, I was thinking that like right there. We may have to add that in there. Okay. So let me quit yakking and add that. I'm kind of liking this where it kind of goes over and blends in with the background, but then kind of comes out over the plaid as well. Okay, I like it offset. Okay, twine would be pretty. Let me grab my twine. If I can find it. Well, that may be a foregone conclusion here. All right, we moved, and I don't know where. Oh, I found it. I was going to say we moved, and I don't know where my twine is. Okay, so I've got this like jute. I think I'm just going to tie maybe a little tiny little bow, and it's going to go right in there. But it's kind of rustic, like the plaid, and kind of the kind of farmy house homesteady feel of the plaid. This looks like, you know, grandpa's shirt or something. I don't know. It's pretty. But you guys can imagine like this plaid and like the little farm cart and the little gourds and vegetables and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so I've got a little jute bow. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. And then I'm just going to do a dab like so. Flower colors match so perfect. I'm so glad that that worked out because, you know, that was the plan, but sometimes not everything goes as planned. That worked out pretty well with the, so if you're wondering, if you're wanting to pick up that paper pad, Rustic Wilderness and the orange is Crackling Campfire blended on there. Okay, and then just a tiny, let me get that glue to dry. A tiny little jute bow. All right, what do you guys think? So let me go here. All right. You can see I've got my readers on top of my head. Let me take those off so I don't look silly. Let's see. The colors are beautiful. Okay. Thank you. My Misty Grip mats are pretty on. Okay. Amazing. At what site is that? Bo. Maybe you'll have to tell me, Bo. Pretty. Okay. I like it. And let me kind of, let's model it a little bit. Yeah. So see how you can just change the colors up? And I think it's cute, just like that. But you could do a simple little Christmas card with Christmas papers. You could do a sympathy card, would be really simple and really pretty with a really pretty little sympathy sentiment, would be easy peasy. It would be nice. Okay, sorry, Kelley. Gotcha. All right. All right, everyone. So is the grip mat that you use for blending and the mat for the Misty the same size? No, they're not. Let me show you. Okay, hold tight for a second. So let me go here and let me go a little bit wider. Okay, so you can see my sentiment still in there, but this grip mat is in here, comes all the way to the edge. It goes from corner to corner. It's sized perfectly. If I put this one in here, it goes from top to bottom, but not all the way to the edge. So that will give you a little bit of, and I have so many of these. I got all the mats just to try them, and they come from everything from like A2 size, bigger size, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're going to do a bunch of like stenciling and stuff like that you want to tack down all your stencils and all the things, then you know, maybe you want to get a larger size because you can, or get like the Misty size and you can pull it out and use it to stencil and then put it in your Misty and use it. Just depends on how you want to do it. Let's see. I love the grip mat in my Misty. Yes. All right. All right. So it is time for our giveaway this evening. And let's see here. I don't think that Lisa is here. So I'm going to scroll through. And I'm just going to choose one of our friends. And our winner tonight is Gail Spresser. She said, great card. Thank you, Gail. All right, friends and Gail. So if you'll email me at Kelley, Kelley at honeybeestamps.com to claim your prize, I will get that sent out to you. Congratulations, Gail. Let's see. Colorfully optimistic is a different. Oh, yeah. I'm silly. Okay, cool. All right. You guys are just chit-chatting away there. All right, everyone. So our next sneak peek is going to be Wednesday night. You'll see a little reminder in all of our social media. And then on Friday is our release part. Oh, there's two winners. Mimi Cakes. See? Okay, Lisa is pulling a fast one on us. Hold on. Is Lisa pulling a fast one on us? Lisa, I pulled Mimi Cakes. Kelley, I pulled Mimi Cakes. Okay, Mimi Cakes and Gail. I didn't see Lisa in here. I'm losing it. So there we go. Two winners tonight. You know, sometimes that happens. All right, you guys. Crazy Kelley is going to go to bed. Hurricane Kelley's going to go to bed. and I will see you back here on Wednesday. Also, Wednesday, our videos are starting on YouTube. That's going to show our sneak peeks, and then I make a card at the end of each video. So make sure you check those out as well. All right, you guys, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to sign off for this evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.